the wheel. Oh, to find the glory, got to make your life shine. You gotta be working to get the woman and the wine. Keep the beat and get your hands in the air. Oh, shuffle the beat cause it's an African affair. Oh, to go for the park and our home at St. George's. We're bringing the silverware back on the gorgeous. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the everyday warrior.
Down, coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino Spot. Tuesday, 6:30, every single Tuesday. Make sure that you subscribe to YouTube, even if you're watching on Facebook now. If you're watching on Facebook, it's not really the best place to watch it from. YouTube's actually the best place to watch it from. So go and subscribe there, because then you'll be reminded. You can click on the little bell to remind you, and then it reminds you every Tuesday when there's an interesting person from the Eastern Cape coming on this show, especially if you're in PE, Gqeberha, and Nelson Mandela Bay, East London. There's always somebody interesting that you may very well know, and then you can get to know them even better on Gino Spot. That's what we're doing, and it's 6:30 every single Tuesday. We never miss it. And sometimes we even have an extra one during the week if we get a really interesting guest. So, thank you to our sponsors, who've been here with us for 3 years now. I think it's 3 years, and then also Fitch and Leeds and Sovereign. Fitch and Leeds have been with us from right from the get-go. When we started, and Sovereign have jumped on as well, and they're also helping with our live shows. So thank you to our sponsors. Don't forget Fat Cat, who bring us a little bit of chow tonight. We've been busy with it, you know. We've been having a little meal here, lovely. Thank you to Grace from Fat Cats. Always appreciative of your lovely, yummy food that you bring us, and then also Amobia. Nicola and the guys from Amobia have always done a fantastic job keeping our internet tube going, so we can get to you every single Tuesday at 6:30 for Gino Spot. So tell me where you're watching from, because that's interesting to me to find out where everyone is in the world. We often have expats watching because they want to just feel a little bit of PE, a bit of nostalgia, and we are right here in the valley, in the Balkans Valley, in the Gqeberha River Valley. Gqeberha, for those of you who didn't know as well, it was Christian Martin. He's the guy that gave us this name, Gqeberha. And it's difficult to say, I know, and it's actually, but I don't know. I'm quite getting into it because apparently it's a Khoisan word. The Khoisan word is the Gqebe plant. The plant is the Gqebe plant, okay? So it's not Gwe, it's Gqebe. It's like a plant that grows in the valley, and then Kha is the old name for water, for the Khoisan name. So it's Gqeberha. It's a plant that stays, it's like, I don't know, it's a plant in the water, in the river. So there we go. and yeah, so at least it gives a bit of a different name. Hopefully for marketing purposes, we could be the name that nobody can ever pronounce. Even the people in BE are circling with this name. I just hear it on the radio. I hear it everywhere. But you know, we've got to get used to it. All right, but that's ADD going off a little bit there. I'm going to now introduce to you, of course, an interesting guest. It was a previous guest of ours that is doing something special. But before I go there, I must tell you about my shows coming as well. The comedy show that I've got going. Woo! Again, we are in the saddle. There we're going. That is my artificial unintelligent show. It is on the 23rd of February in East London. So if you know anybody from East London, the Guild Theatre, tickets at CompuTicket. Guild Theatre, a fantastic, wonderful venue run by Zane and Jonathan and the guys, and it's obviously landmark up there in East London, but an absolutely beautiful theatre, full lighting, full audio visual, the whole works. It's an immersive experience, and then when we get back from that, we are the 15th of March. We are at the German Club. So look at that, 15 March in PE at the German Club, and you can talk to Wendy about those tickets. Wendy is probably in the comments. In fact, she is in the comments. She's already made a comment here. Thank you, Wendy. She is there and ready for you. She's not only doing the ticket sales, but she's also going to collect at the end of this show. One of you can win a case of Fitch and Leeds. Fitch and Leeds is one of our sponsors, and I'm going to be having a little gin and tonic here. I hope you don't mind. And so, yeah, get into that. We've got the shows coming. Don't forget about it. 15th of March and 23rd, now this Friday in East London. All right, so what I was about to say was Chantel Besaidnout. Chantel has been fantastic. She's a worker bee. She's been out doing all sorts, and she's getting a comedy group together. And they have some shows coming up, including her own personal show, which is Cracker. So let's just have a look and see what she's got.
Good day, Gino Spot followers and fans. This is Chantal Besaidnout, and I'm from the Friendly City Comedy Crew. I'm going to quickly tell you about 2 shows that are coming up. On Sunday, the 25th of February at 6 o'clock at the Savoy Theatre, we are having our first open mic night of the month, of the year, actually, called The Last Laugh. It is a platform for new comedians to practice performing and for experienced comedians to practice their new material. 40 bucks gets you in. You'll find all the information on the Friendly City Comedy Cruise page. In my own private capacity, I will be doing my own show on the 5th of March at Isitata. It is a concept called ADHD, The Bottle and Me, and it is the story of my journey with alcoholism and the link to ADHD. That is the 5th of March. You can find that information on my personal comedy page, Chantal Harris. Tickets are 60 rands, South African rands, until next week. Thereafter, they will be 80 rand a ticket. If you're interested and you'd love to find out more, I'll try and make it a little bit funny, but hopefully you will learn a lot. We'll see you all there. Cheers.
Chantel Harris. Go and find Chantel Harris and make sure you book now, because it looks like the ticket prices are going up and up and up. Yeah. All right, so get in soon while you get the early bird ticket price. And she's got a brave show there, and she's a stick of dynamite. Chantel, best of luck with that. Now you still need to tell us where you are and tell us what you're drinking in the comments, and I'm going to sing for you. We've got our guest Andrew MacKenzie in the studio tonight, and he's Scottish, so we're going to do a little Scottish song for him. I think so. I think we try that, right? I don't know. You can give me a mark out of 10 for my Scottish accent, right? Oh, I don't know if they say right all the time. Anyway, let's give it a go. And I'll sing your comments. Make sure you put them in there. When I wake up, well, you know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And when I go out, a Wendy Tompkin Thompson, hello, how do you do? How do you know who is commenting when they do so from YouTube? I don't really know. It's the computer that finds them all and looks for them and then grabs them and brings me to you. Oh, there we go. And I would say hello to Philippa Fabbri. It's my wife, you know. Looking forward to tonight's guest. So am I, and Caroline Morgan too. When I wake up, well, fat cats is good. Oh yes, I'm lucky boy. Look at me. I wish I could be eating this in a little chair at Mpikweni. When I go, well, Dean Allen's there, and he says, hello from the Indian Ocean. Oh, my good Lord, between your reunion and Mauritius, with the tropical storm out there too. Alright, meet a man who's going home, Sean Willard. Alright, Sean Willard, I like you there. And Sean Willard's got a new thing that you drink. I think it's called Mwah. That's right, is that right? 8.5 Mr. T. Funky. And then you get free advertising for your barley oats. Drinking, very nice. And out from the Merver is there. They're waiting in the wings, with the wings. And ultimately, yes, oh, there we go. I see this. Well, weather guru's here tonight. He's drinking Scotch again, I see. That's good, cause this is a Scottish guest, and he drinks lots of Scotch whiskey too. All I do, don't forget my show. You gotta get there, that's Dolores, that. How was that? I said it was. Mwah, that's right. Would walk 500 miles, and Sean Sullivan says, lacquer man. I don't know Scottish people understand when you say lacquer all the time. All right, do. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have got our special guest. We're not going to waste any more time because Andrew MacKenzie is there.
Welcome to the show. Now it's your time to shine. We're gonna have a lekker chat tonight. Another good time.
The mic's in, everything ready to go. Cheers to you.
Yeah.
Andrew MacKenzie.
Cheers,
You've
mate.
not got a drink. Do you need another
I've
beer?
already finished it.
Cool. You need another beer, Gary. Yes, another beer. What is Scotch? We've got some Scotch here too, you know, if you want.
Beer's good.
A wee Scotch for the year. Fantastic to have you on, Andrew MacKenzie. I mean, we've known each other for a long time, and particularly your brother. Here we go. There's another.
Thank you. Cheers,
another beer
thanks.
for you. VP Old Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
VP Old Boy, matriculated 91.
91, yeah. Only 3 years after me, you know. We're still the very, very similar age. You know?
Very, yeah. 18.
Yeah, he's 18. 18 till under. Yeah. I know. And obviously you've just done a move from, well, it's been a while now already.
Yeah, 4 years, eh?
It's been 4 years.
Yeah, can you believe it?
I say, because everything since COVID seems to have gone so quickly.
Amazing, yeah.
It was. So it was actually already been 4 years that you've been at Rooftop.
4 years at Rooftop.
Wow.
Yeah, been a great experience for me. So.
But now you've actually. When was your CEO position?
November last year.
That was okay. That
was quite recent.
That was the big move, really.
Into MD. Yeah. So James and Richard are obviously still very involved in the business, the CEOs and founders.
Okay.
So I've just stepped in an MD role.
Okay. So just to point out, Rooftop doing the film, AV, movies, flipping.
Animations, videos, design work, marketing campaigns, influencer, social media engagement.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they've really expanded, from and then obviously Richard and James starting that thing from and going from the bottom, basically from grassroots.
Can you believe it? I mean, they started out of university and they started as a DVD duplication business. No joking.
Yes.
They talk about it a lot. And,
DVD duplication.
I mean, in those days, I don't think many people still know what DVDs are, but DVD duplication, that's what they started with. And
It's like tape to tape, but
incredibly visionary guys, which is amazing. So always looking to the next thing.
Something's happening next.
Insight. It's an amazing thing.
And now it's just such a big scope. Yeah. So stepping into the new role now, obviously James is maybe looking at more executive role.
So they're
strategy.
very client-facing still.
Okay.
A lot of building, client relationship building, elements like that.
So they can go out and market, you mean?
Yeah.
Instead of having to
correct.
run operations
That's
as such,
right.
I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, there's I'm sure there's not, it's all sorts that you've got to jump into now yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a creative background, and generally they say creative people aren't good businessmen, but which is quite interesting. But
Yes.
yeah, I like the business side as well. I find that the two have to merge.
Yeah.
And creative is quite a challenging environment to do business in.
Yeah, for sure.
Creative temperaments.
Oof, man, it's competition is tough.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
And it's always like, when's your next? You're only as good as your last project.
100%, yeah. And clients benchmark on that. They want fantastic videos, and those videos need to be successful out there in the marketplace. And if they're not, they only point fingers at the person that made them.
I know.
Yeah.
And isn't it crazy how it's like somebody invents or makes a car or something, and they sell that same car, that same thing. Over and over again. It's the same one over and over again. Whereas in a creative space like that,
every piece is unique.
Every piece is unique, and you do this amazing job. Like, wow, this movie, this thing that we've done is insane.
Yeah.
And then you give it out, and then it's like, phew, oh, where's the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, you got like maybe 35 projects running at the same time. So they're landing like this, one after that. And as that one's finished, the next one's in, So you're going all the time.
You're trying to learn, I suppose.
Yeah, but rewarding work. I mean, the whole rooftop environment, the top clients is just amazing. I mean, it's very cause-based work.
Yes.
So social impact, environmental impact, humanitarian impact, a lot of UN-based clients. So
Yes. I remember speaking to James about the fact that it was UN-based clients and is WHO and those. And those
WHO.
No, sorry. WHO, you're right. World Health Organization. It's on the rolls of my tongue. I've done a few gigs for WHO recently. So just saying, it'll be
WHO, UNICEF, UNESCO, a lot of the big humanitarian work.
And I was actually mentioning to you that a couple of people I know have said to me that where they're working in corporates and they're doing this corporate job, and it's just profit orientated, and they want to get involved in causes or something that like an NGO or something like that, and clearly that's part of your move is to go from that hectic corporate side with Boomtown where it's really, I mean, they are amazing, but they are it's tough that whole scenario.
100%. I mean, Boomtown's an amazing agency. I mean, flying the flag out of GQ, on international clients, and I was there for a long time, 16 years, and they've built a really special agency. But that environment it's very challenging. It's very challenging. It's very financially focused. Clients can be quite hard on agencies, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier you're only as good as your last ad, and it's exactly like that in commercial advertising environments. But I'm very, I think I count myself lucky on the experiences that I had there.
Yeah. Okay.
Because without those, I wouldn't be able to apply that into what I'm doing now.
Yes.
So
I think
that's been amazing.
You're sort of ready for it.
Yeah.
And you need to be like that because, I mean, especially early on in your career, you are looking to make money. You need to solidify your own stuff. You got your family. You got your.
Career's about experience, right?
Yeah.
So you take all of that now. You can apply that into what I'm doing now, and all those experiences have certainly helped. I mean, they definitely do.
You found that you. It's sort of like in the music industry where you dream of this thing. Okay, so in the beginning you come into this business. Advertising or whatever it is, and you think to yourself, wow, how am I ever going to get to that point? And you're gunning for that, but then what happens is you get to the point where you surpass that line, and then you look down on it, and it's much easier to go into, and you see the real deal.
Yeah, I think you do. I mean, you look back at like your career. I think it's quite interesting if I go back and kind of worked out like, I mean, I studied at P Technical.
Yeah, P Tech.
NMU, and I'm a proud NMU alumni, and did graphic design and got my first job, and I was just so pleased to get a job, And then you work a little bit harder, and you get a promotion, or you get somebody else that says, hey, come and join us, so you move, and then you do this, and your whole career it's this ladder really. It's interesting for me to look back and kind of go, wow, look where I am now. I'm very grateful, of course. But I think you got to look at it like my dad's always given me this philosophy, and I think my brothers as well, like nothing in life comes easy, you work hard. So just put your nose down and get on with it, and I think that's how we've been brought up, and I think sometimes that hard work does pay off. It's just
Well, if I tell you, and I know the MacKenzie brothers, and there's one thing about the MacKenzies is that they've got integrity, and they work like maniacs, and whether it be at the sport, at work, at whatever, it's like 150%.
Yeah, you give it everything.
Yeah.
You don't go in half-hearted. The 50% is not good enough. You want to go in 120%.
Yourself and Brad, I know. I don't know that well, but I know the two of you, and always I've seen that in you. It's like if the Mackenzies are involved, it's like. Brad, I see him just when he runs. Even when he runs, he's like, God, hey,
I mean, not often you get somebody in there. I mean, Brady's a little bit older than me. He's younger than you.
Yes,
you're right still, but he's still running some 40-minute 10K races. Unbelievable, but he trains hard. He goes at it 100%.
He does, and he runs.
Aiden's the same, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about Victoria Park School and. You know, it's we went to school there, amazing school. So Aiden's like trying to work with the school now and giving a little bit back from a rugby perspective. Aiden played a lot of rugby when he was younger.
Yes, and for any VP guys that are out there, any of the VP guys, there's this. I think there's a new rugby Facebook page that you can go and join and
and
just
do that.
Get the updates and see what's going on. You know, it's nice to have this little network where. You know, the other schools have all got their old boys and their old things going. VP's always been a bit lagging behind with the olds. We've got the Victorians. We do. Now, and that started.
Yeah.
And now I see this old boys club.
Yeah, old boys rugby, trying to support the rugby guys, trying to help the school with the sport and the training where we can. So and Aiden's been a big driving force behind that there. But you can't believe the support. How many people have just jumped on and trying to help? It's amazing.
Fantastic, because it's a great school. VP's was a wonderful school. Wonderful school. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. We're born and bred PE.
I was born in PE.
Yeah.
I actually grew up in Grahamstown.
Okay. When did you move to Grahamstown?
I must probably moved to Grahamstown when I was about 2 years old, so I'm not going to give the year away, but it was a long time ago.
70s.
Yeah, it was 75 maybe.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, so 70, 74, 75, and my dad had a little business there. And
what did he do?
The type of town that my dad had a carpeting business.
Of course, because the business is still going now. Of course,
it's PC agency, so it's evolved a bit. When he moved back to PE, he started PC agencies and
Villiers Road, Wilma.
Yes. Go and support the Max. Go and support Aiden and Brady.
Absolutely, and he does the shoes and the
they've got a trail shop there as well, Trail Busters. So very very.
Okay, so he's continued that legacy.
Security gates and curtain tracks and decor items as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
you moved to
Grahamstown. It's the type of town where everyone goes home at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Right. Everything shuts down for an hour because people go home to have lunch, and you have your main meal at lunchtime. So we grew up in that environment and went to Graham College.
Yeah. Okay.
A really fantastic school in the coldest place. So Grahamstown's in the valley. Graham College is in the valley. It's the coldest place in Grahamstown. It's very cold, but but we had a fantastic, I think, junior school upbringing in Grahamstown. It's an amazing school to be able to go to,
You mentioned before that you actually preferred boarding school to
I love
day
boarding
boys.
school. No, I love boarding school. Boarding school is amazing. I mean, you make quite tight friendships, I think, with the kids at school when you're in boarding school. You get up to mischief as well, which is amazing.
Well, I mean, the Mackenzies have been known to cause cuck over the years.
We get up to a little bit of mischief every now and then, Normally, when the three of us are together, it gets pretty bad, It's
like a competition.
Yeah, definitely. You try and outdo each other.
You are competitive, guys.
Yeah, I think so. In a friendly way, though.
Yeah. The brothers.
Yeah. It never gets nasty. It's always friendly.
So you all get on.
We get on very well. I mean, Brady runs a lot. I run with Brady at the club.
Of course.
So we part of the same running club. And then Aiden and myself, obviously with the boys. Yeah, we're all in P, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So, lots of nieces and nephews running around at the moment. Some of them still going through school. Mine are out of school already. But
it's nice for the grandchildren, eh?
Yeah. So I think my folks love that,
And were your folks originally from Grahamstown side?
No. My dad's from Port Elizabeth. He grew up here. And my mom's actually from Queenstown area.
Queenstown. Very nice.
Yeah, she's a Hulse.
Oh, a Hulse.
Yeah. So she grew up
the Hulses in Queenstown, say hello.
Yeah. Grew up in a farm between Jamestown and Queenstown, and I think she was nursing when they met.
Oh, isn't that
a lot of
just
people
perfect?
need nurses.
They
right?
did. Nurses were the thing. They were either a nurse. My mother-in-law was a nurse. Her sister was a nurse, and my two sister-in-laws were nurses. It's like you were a nurse or you're a teacher.
That's it. Yeah.
Especially in the Eastern Cape. I don't know if it's all.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think the main profession in the Eastern Cape in those days was nursing and teaching, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
in the boarding schools, yeah. So then back to PE.
Back to PE, 86.
86. Okay.
Yeah. So my dad and they moved back to PE in 86, and we were in boarding school for a couple of years. Then we came to Victoria Park High School.
Yeah.
High school. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Really good high school. I think. We talked about like it gives you this perspective on life.
Yes.
You've got kids from all different walks of life at the school, so it's really nice.
It was a mixed bag.
Yeah, very mixed bag.
Always was, and also they didn't like. I mean, there's one thing about having the legacy of a Grey or a Graham College or a Kingswood or or St Andrews. VP was very down to earth. You didn't have that.
Yeah.
That side, but having the girls there was fab. Because it taught us a bit.
It did, yeah. Especially coming from an all boys school like Graham College, and you walk into Victoria Park and it's a co-ed school. That was interesting, but it was great. It did teach us. I mean, it was good. And I mean, I've actually we've got a school group from my year that finished school, and there's always people. Now, a lot of people are still in contact. I've got a tight friends group from people I was at school with still. Yeah. So it's quite nice to have that still. And I don't know if a lot of schools kind of had.
I don't know. I think going there is, like you say, the old boys, and that helps a bit to get that. And then at school, were you? I mean, because you did graphic design. Okay,
I studied graphic design
at Tech. So were you doing art at school as well? Weren't you?
No, I didn't.
Sport.
I did the standard like subjects at school: science, maths, history, geography.
And you were okay with that stuff, eh?
Yeah. I kind of did enough to get by, as most boys do. You study enough just to pass. I loved sport, a lot of rugby and athletics.
Okay.
So
obviously a long distance and a bit of sprinting.
800 and 400s and a couple of sprints. I like the athletics. It was always good, and then a bit of cross country at school.
The genetics are there for that.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a runner.
Okay.
Yeah, he ran 13 comrades.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Okay, that's tough as well.
Kind of get in the genes, I think. I mean, you grow up with I think the running, and my dad played a lot of rugby as well. So when he finished playing rugby, he started running.
Okay.
And I think we've maybe followed a little bit. We didn't play as much rugby after school though. Myself and Bradley went, but Aiden did. Yeah.
What got you into the graphic design? Because that's arts.
My mom's very artistic.
Oh.
So she's always loved painting a bit and doing a lot of artistic activities. But I went for an aptitude test.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And at the aptitude test, they said, "Have you ever considered maybe doing graphic design?" I was like, I didn't even know what it was, to be honest with you. And so I investigated it a bit, and then after school, I had to do a whole series of like drawings and things to actually submit a portfolio to actually be considered to go into the course.
Oh,
so it was quite tough to get in, and I got into the course.
So it's a little project to get in there.
Yeah, you had to do a whole lot of drawings and sketchbooks.
Because of course all the guys at art would have just taken their artwork and gone here.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to start.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I mean, they made us draw. They had this chair, so you had to draw a chair, but they gave you 20 different themes, and you had to draw the chair in these 20 different themes. I suppose it was to try and explore your creative thinking. Yeah, so it was quite interesting. And I remember over the school holidays. Well, I just finished school at that stage, doing all these drawings of chairs. And you don't know if they're good enough, right? You've never done art before, so you just kind of winging it a bit. And anyway, I got
the fact that you did it, maybe it was a project to say like, okay, we're going to cut out like 80% of that.
The guys that are really bad,
they're not going to even bother to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're not prepared to do this, then they're not.
They wouldn't even start. I mean, exactly. They were like, exactly. Yeah. So anyway,
it's part of the filter process.
This guy actually did all 20. He must be keen.
He's keen at least.
Yeah. Anyway, so I got in.
And your lecturers, was that Bruce Cadle?
Bruce, Bruce is still around.
Still going. Still
absolutely. Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
And still looks so bloody young.
We had amazing lecturers. Bruce was one of them. Yeah. We had a guy, John Herbert.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, amazing lecturer. He was from the UK. He worked in publication design. Okay. He gave us such a good foundation on the love of typography.
Well, maybe somebody can tag him in the comments if you're there.
Yeah, so it was amazing. I mean, he was a fantastic lecturer, and I think that foundation studies like 3 years of graphic design. I was very fortunate. We handed in portfolios, and normally with that, you get a lot of the industry that comes and looks at portfolios.
Yes.
So I actually got a job on portfolio night.
Wow.
So I walked straight into something. I didn't even, which was, I said, you kind of. you're lucky, you kind of feel like things fall into place, and that one did. And
isn't it amazing? So they had like an exhibition kind of thing, and
you put all your portfolios out for viewing, and your parents come and
look how good how good my Andre is. Come look here, come.
So that happened, and then so I was quite lucky to get a job. And funny enough, that particular company, I mean, in those days we all think that computers are the norm, right?
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, early 90s, there were no Apple Macs.
Yeah.
Right, which we all know the design standard now. There were none in town. There was one agency that had them, and it happened to be the one that I got the job at.
Wow,
so
okay.
I stepped straight into
early.
Cutting my teeth on computers and graphic design work on Apple Mac.
Yes.
And I've never stepped off.
Yes.
If you put me behind a PC, I don't think I could drive it. I'm terrible.
Hey, you're one of those.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible.
With the Apple Mac.
Yeah, but it's not. It's out of purpose, not out of principle. I'm afraid it's just I can't drive a PC.
Yeah, you know, the one side they've got you now. They've got you by the balls.
Yeah, that's it. And then I had a couple of jobs in different agencies over a period of time. I worked for an amazing local agency called Truscott Dent and Associates.
Okay.
They were bought out by a bigger company called Thollet Sievers, in fact, and became Thollet Sievers Truscott Dent. And
lots of people get retrenched.
No, it was great. I mean, Hilary Truscott, I don't know if Hilary's on the line, but Hilary owned the business, and she was an amazing advertiser.
Tag her. Somebody tag Hilary.
Yeah, and I worked for them for a few years and then got offered another job, and you kind of work your way into different positions, right? And then I started my own business.
Oh, what was that called?
Vuma,
yeah.
Vuma,
like Vuma.
Yeah, even an exclamation mark at the end. It was like a Vuma advertising, and I ran that for a few years. And
do you have people working with you? Was your
we had a few people working with us, and it was quite good, 3 or 4 people, and then obviously then amalgamated into Boomtown.
Oh, okay.
Vuma actually amalgamated into Boomtown as an agency.
Okay. So they sort of brought you in.
Yeah.
Bought you out. And
So it was kind of a specialist below the line agency. So above the line was more.
Just explain this above the line.
Below the line. They kind of have blurred the lines now. They call it through the line now.
Oh, really?
But above the line's typically your mass consumption media like TV ads, radio ads, a lot of your broad reach content.
So really wide.
Yeah, and below the line was more print based.
Local
work. Yeah, so smaller consumption. That sort of stuff,
Little newspaper here, there's local newspaper there. Local.
That's it.
But if it's above the line, then it's like Sunday Times.
Yeah, or TV.
TV. And then below the line, Herald or...
Yeah, so it's the smaller stuff, the smaller one-on-one communication pieces, brochures and things like that, publication designs.
All right.
And then...
So yours was, you were doing...
More below the
line stuff.
Yeah.
So working locally.
Yeah, funny story about it is that I worked there, and there were only like 3 or 4 of us there, and myself and 2 or 3 other people, and the 2 or 3 other people that worked there were vegetarians, right?
Okay.
Yes. And I'm a big animal lover as well, and we did one brochure for a hunting private hunter, a PH, right?
Yes,
And of course in the Eastern Cape there are a lot of private hunters. So we do this one brochure for this PH, and again, you do a good job with this, right? Here's all the other PHs here.
So you're the fellow vegetarians making hunting brochures.
We I don't know how many we ended up doing, but it was a stack.
You're a bunch of sluts.
Yeah. You got to pay the bills, and it was just these people posing with these animals, and we were like, I don't know
about this.
But that's advertising, right?
Yeah. Isn't that those choices you got to make?
Yeah,
like, for me it was like doing all these gigs, and it's cool, and then a cigarette company comes and wants to do a gig, and I'm like, I don't know, man, I just can't. I just hate smoking. Like I'm a vociferous non-smoker, and I just I did one, and then I was like, they were handing us cigarettes. I was like, no more. I'm
gonna do
it, bro.
Cigarettes. Yeah, it's interesting. I think with advertising type of projects you want to take on, and those you kind of have principles that you're going, okay.
Yeah, everyone's got their price.
Yeah, exactly.
Your principle changes according to the price that goes up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
Very challenging. Anyway, and then and then Boomtown 16 years.
Wow. So then Boomtown bought in this company with is it Glenn?
Glenn and Neil Hart at that
Neil Hart.
stage, and for 16 years I was with Boomtown.
And what were you doing that?
I started on the creative side, so heavily leaned on the creative side, working a lot into the creative direction and working with the teams there to deliver products. And that was a full service agency, so we did everything. Did amazing.
I mean,
work
what do you start? I mean, like somebody comes to you and a company's like got to sell a product. Like, And what was your average product? What's your things that you were doing?
So I mean, as the business started to scale, I mean, we worked from like local print ads to brochure designs to corporate identity development. So that would be full logo development right into its application across spectrums, website design, and of course, early days it wasn't social media, but then into social media components, social media campaign work, into television ads.
It was all linked. It all sort of has to have this theme.
Cohesive look. Yeah. So we would look at
cohesive look. I like that.
Well, we'd look at a brand strategy, right? And off the back of a brand strategy, you develop a campaign strategy. So campaign strategy is what we're going to do for this year. That aligns to this company's brand and puts them out in the right way, the right tone, the right values with regards to what the brand stands for.
Yeah, because you always just think, we're just going to make an ad and we're just going to do it.
You've
got to actually look at
it's got to be thought out. The
whole thing. And that's why the Oaks pay the big bucks when they're in a above the line kind of company, like a Spa or a
100%. I mean, we talk about brands being a little bit like personalities. And if you're not consistent with how you're behaving, you become a little bit schizophrenic.
Yes, okay.
Right? People don't trust you as much.
Yeah.
Your erratic behavior, you're behaving like this one day and then like this one day. So I saw an ad like that. Wait a minute, then there's something like that.
Yes, so, how does it work?
So you want that consistency so people build the trust in the brand.
It's interesting.
It's a nice way to look at it,
Gary always slots these questions on here. What does it mean to work on the creative side, and what kind of things did you do yourself in the early days?
So I studied graphic design, but I think I was actually designing, doing full service design work, so from logo development, corporate identity development.
Okay, so logo design, do the whole thing, and then you'd work that into whatever advertising they were going to do,
into print ads, into art direction. Okay. So we'd go onto shoots where they were shooting the actual, like let's say we conceptualized an ad. There was a photo shoot that had to happen to bring your little sketch to life with real people and environments.
Yes.
So you're on set.
So you're writing out what are those storyboards and
you're storyboarding for TV ads.
You're
working with the copywriters to develop the script that then supports that. And then as I evolved, you move into what we call a creative direction role. So that's overseeing the teams to making sure that they're developing the right products as well.
Okay.
And that was kind of my later years at Boomtown was more creative
so you're just
direction
looking at those, like you said, 35 projects on the go at the same time.
Yeah, you're overseeing
and you've got
teams
a team,
of people. Yeah, exactly.
team that's working on that stuff.
That's it. Yeah.
And check out this year. It's going to have this look. It's the colours wrong.
Yeah, wait a minute. Spa is green and red, guys. Where's the blue coming from?
What's this blue? What's the blue?
You want to try and align it back to the brand values and.
What do you, I mean, as we're going forward now, with social media, like we're talking about, we're sitting here on a internet TV,
social media platform.
I mean, is TV dead? Is it?
I think it's sliding.
Sliding for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I just know that where's everyone watching TV now on streaming services or on YouTube, right? We don't watch mainstream
SABC.
TV. Yeah, I think it's obsolete.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that is that for me would keep it alive is if on the poorer areas where they haven't got money for internet all the time.
Yeah,
they can't stream these things that take a lot of gigabytes. But that's going. It's coming.
Yeah,
free internet's coming to the townships.
Well, I think a lot of it's only got to do with the fact that maybe we get charged quite a lot in South Africa for data, right?
Yeah, right.
I think it's a lot cheaper in other countries in Africa.
The micro financing.
Yeah.
Like you can have 2 gigs for only £2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the cheaper internet gets, I think the more people are going to be exposed to streaming services, and TV is going to take even more of a dive.
Yeah.
Because now you can choose what you want to watch.
Yeah, of course.
I don't have to sit there and wait for my program to come on. I can go and find it and watch it now.
And you haven't got everybody's eyes locked in on that TV for that certain Dallas on Tuesday night, where that ad is gonna hit like 10 million eyes,
I mean, so Google's obviously the biggest search engine in the world.
Yeah.
Second biggest?
Probably Facebook.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube, really? They search on YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, it's true if you think about it.
It's a younger audience, eh?
Yeah, okay.
YouTube's very young audience. It's yeah.
I mean, you always type everything into Google, and then the next thing you do is look at a video. That's true.
Yeah.
You go for and then look for YouTube because you don't want to go to another site that's
to read something. I'll rather watch something.
Yeah.
Much easier.
Yeah, it's easier to watch.
Yeah.
How lazy are we?
Yeah. Make life easier for people, and you've got them hooked.
So the best way to market yourself. Come on, there's a whole bunch of marketing people out here as well. Marketing yourself on social media, these algorithms, what the hell? Do you have any understanding of what these things are?
Yeah, I've got a little bit. We do a bit of it.
Okay.
Obviously, with all the best intentions in the world.
Yes,
so
of course.
That out
course.
there. Yeah. So I mean, marketing's interesting, especially. So you got a Facebook profile, right?
Yeah.
You look at something on Facebook.
Yes.
Now you go into your Instagram profile.
Yes.
They can retarget you with the behavior.
Yes,
that
they do.
On, right?
They do that. Damn them.
Twitter's the same. YouTube's the same.
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, funny enough, is a little bit more closed.
Okay.
Because you're choosing to subscribe to a particular element, but they are catching on to it. You can get fed content now.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
I think it'll happen.
You type something into WhatsApp, like, I'm looking at like a special message to my boot, like I'm looking for a
next thing you're getting popped an ad, right?
Oh, you check these new things. It's got a switch, whatever. Yeah, all of a sudden you're getting switch things.
If you have a conversation, you're talking to somebody about something, and the next thing you're browsing, and that thing you were talking about is going up.
I know.
So they're listening to you too.
Google's listening.
Yeah.
So it's really that because there's this algorithm thing seems to be so difficult to try and handle.
Yeah, it's a retargeting matrix. But the great thing about social media for marketers is that it's highly measurable.
Okay.
So from a marketing perspective, you can literally track the hits on your content in a lot of detail.
Really,
so you can also focus your marketing. So you can actually drill down to a suburb in the city.
For those campaigns that you put on Facebook, for instance.
So if you're running a social media campaign, for instance, you can actually drive that into a particular area.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
So the campaigns are probably the best way to market at the moment, I think.
So you could put a little bit of paid money behind it.
Yes, because you have to pay.
It's very
That's
focused.
a bloody Zuckerberg. Damn him! I wish there was a local Facebook that could we could all join in.
We need to come up with the South African version.
I know. The money's going out the country. That's
fantastic.
Terrible.
With our own little cultural nuances, 11 official languages and a few other things. How to pronounce
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what's the most effective bang for buck advertising medium for medium-sized companies? What's your bang for buck? What do you think? What's your opinion?
Yeah, social media.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, maybe Google ads, so search ads. Google, also very cost effective and targeted.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would say Google ads and social media, paid marketing.
So as soon as somebody types in something in Google ads, bang, it comes up, it'll end up on top of.
Yeah, you've got to be clever with that as well, because the problem with social media is you're competing with everything else that's out there, right?
Yeah.
So other mediums, funny enough, maybe I'm a bit of a diehard, but mediums like radio and print and stuff, you still stand out.
Yeah.
You're not in as much of a noise.
Yeah.
But I still think bang for buck wise, cost effective wise, social media and digital marketing, paid digital marketing is the way.
Because it's also easy. You just pay the money.
We also got to accept the fact that everyone's browsing behaviors on mobile devices now. We don't read, even if we're reading newspapers, most of it's digital.
I'm digital now on Herald.
Yeah. Digital subscriptions and
I'm holding back on News 24. Damn them! Damn you, News 24.
Also charging now. All the guys.
I'll just read a little bit of the article and I'll get it. But then
get the first paragraph. Problem is they hook you and you can't read the rest.
I know. Read more. Then you think, then you're like,
it's like the punchline.
Yes, exactly. Below the belt. That's what they should call it. Let's have a look at some of these comments coming up here. See, we've got lots of comments going on here. Let's have a look. Elmarie Sampson, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. This is true.
It's obviously linked to advertising.
And doing hunting videos for you. Paul Morrick is another VP Boyki.
Paul.
How's it, Paul? Nice to see you, man. And a great sportsman at VP. Absolutely. Well, he's got the genes.
Paul, good soccer player.
Brian is another soccer player. Never smoked and never will. Best there we go, Brian. SABC is deader than dead. Dear. Daddy Don, as of two autistic teenagers, would you lean towards data scientist programming or more arty careers like animation? Are there opportunities in animation?
100%. I think from an arty perspective, I would lean more towards something like animation, definitely.
Okay. Is that sort of up and coming? I see Stewie Forrest.
Stuart Amazing. Hey, also a local guy.
Local PE boykie.
Triggerfish.
Triggerfish in Cape Town.
Guy.
Get them to get hold of Stuart Forrest there in Cape Town. He's got a wonderful bunch of people down there that are working on all sorts of movies.
Yeah, maybe just from an animation perspective, I mean, a lot of social media content is animated as well. So short, bite-sized pieces of content, 15 seconds, animated.
Yeah.
So there's a huge demand for animators, I think, out there now, even like short format video editors, something like that, which is highly creative too. So, definitely from a creative perspective for artsy sons and daughters.
Yes, if you've got
career choices worth considering.
It is. Or music,
Yeah, but think technology as well. I mean, Apple's just released these amazing
those goggle things, eh?
Yeah, they say it's going to revolutionize how we work.
You can see the normal world and
your work world.
all in one.
But it's a 360-degree panorama view of your workspace.
Holy crap, really.
Yeah, so I think, what was that statement they were saying, kids that are born today, the jobs that they're going to step into haven't even been invented yet.
Yes.
So we've got to be careful about the careers we choose. And technology, I think, with AI is advancing at such a rapid rate. I think things are going to change very quickly.
Yeah. And we've got to somehow try and keep up with this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think we will. I think we're just going to end up not knowing. Maybe they've taken us already.
Getting left a little bit behind.
How's AI sort of affected the business so far in what from when you were at Boomtown to now? I mean, it's pretty
very much. I mean, it's really hit the ground in the last maybe 3 or 4 years while I've been at Rooftop. So maybe more while I've been at Rooftop than anywhere else. But we've actually got a AI workshop happening on Thursday.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. So we try and keep up with what's going on
for anybody or
for Rooftop staff.
Rooftop staff.
We're trying to get everybody kind of in tune with what's going on and utilizing the AI tools as well, because they are beneficial.
Yeah.
So you can't deny it. And
amazing.
One thing that I don't think it's ever going to be able to do is take away human creativity, right?
Yeah.
Our brains and creativity is based on human experiences and these synapses joining things together to come up with these amazing ideas. And I suppose your shows are a little bit the same.
Yeah.
I don't think AI is ever going to be able to do that.
I don't know. I certainly at the moment you can certainly spot AI. Immediately. But you look at some of the Photoshop stuff that's going on, and then you think, whoa, that's actually.
I was watching one that was released the other day on. You can actually now prompt videos, 60-second videos, 1-minute videos using AI.
Yes, you can actually with text.
Yeah, text prompt.
Yeah.
It looks like somebody standing there with a video camera shooting it.
Ooh. Yeah, you see, it's going so quick, eh? It's going so quick.
Very quick, yeah.
It is. And music already, I mean, I don't know, and there's obviously the good and the bad,
I think part of our philosophy is we need to understand how the tools work and how to use them so we can develop a better product for our clients.
Yeah.
So it's quite an interesting way of engaging with it. Not using it to actually develop stuff, but actually using what we can from it to actually make our stuff even better.
Yeah, well, so you get and some idea that there's something that leads to an idea and leads to this. Yeah. So I mean, you use ChatGPT for example. You write a script and you say, well, it should look like that. So then let's do mine here. We'll do it like this and this and this, or it often helps.
We're quite lucky in a lot of the subject matter that we deal with is quite technically specific. Like World Health Organization, I'll use them as an example. You've got to be quite careful with AI still and ChatGPT and models like that, because they're pulling content from the entire internet.
Yes. So it could be bollocks.
100%. I don't think all of it's 100% fact-based.
No,
so you've got to be quite careful about what you're applying into it and what's true and what's not. So we've actually got a team of writers and researchers who do most of our script writing. We don't use ChatGPT for that.
It's
very
No, but also it's like when I've tried ChatGPT, write me a comedy script for this, and you look at it like, this is bollocks.
It's rubbish. Exactly.
Such shit. But it's fine, How do you keep up with the fast changes though in this week's Sora?
Yeah, exactly. That's that.
What's the Sora?
That's the 60-minute video program.
Is that the one with the text?
It's really unbelievable. But we're quite lucky in that we've got quite a lot of young people that work at Rooftop.
So they're in.
Right, Gen Zs and
yes, they know this stuff.
They are on top of it, man. It's actually unbelievable. That's why part of this forum is we've got a lot of these young guys sharing their learnings and the new tools that they've discovered, because there's literally like 6 or 7 new tools every day.
Yeah, so they keep going. These apps keep coming. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And they've gone from like ChatGPT's in like version 3 or 4 now, I think. So it just keeps on evolving and getting better and better and better. Adobe's even got an AI function now.
Yes, I see that. Incredible. But I mean, there's even this whole. Not only ChatGPT, but there's Bard and there's the Microsoft one and there's this whole thing. And
all coming out.
They're all getting their own.
Have you played with generative fill?
No, what's generative? What is generative fill?
So I was watching Gary earlier when he was cropping into that image. So you're looking at a vertical picture, you don't have anything on either side.
Yes. Chantel's video was only a thin one like this.
You want to make it landscape?
Yes.
Generative fill will fill in the blank for you, and you won't know the difference between the landscape and the.
That's on Adobe as well. I've seen that working well because I went to an AI workshop with Gendermark.
Yes,
it was the Siegfried's guys.
Ajit. Yeah, we do some work with Ajit and his team. They're doing amazing work.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And he's a straight talker. Caroline Morgan was onto it as well. Caroline's she's quite into it as well. Yeah. She's a wonderful person for if you want wide thinking. If you not stuck in a box, then you go to Caro. She's out there. She doesn't think in that box.
Yeah, Ajit with what they're doing in education through Odin is superb. I mean, they're looking at turning the education model as we know it on its head because it's not working. And they're looking at what is working. And it's customized learning for individual kids so that they can actually find
the stuff that
the thing that really ticks the boxes for them. And it's all technology based.
Yes.
That's why he's so engaged on the AI side because they're going to apply that into their learning models, and I think it's fantastic. And a generation of kids coming out of that education program that are going to do some amazing things in the world, I think.
I mean, he was talking about the fact that the speed of your brain, it's nearly there, and it's going at exponential rates. It's going to be, the machine is. They're talking about Big Blue. With Big Blue was the first computer that beat Kasparov with the chess. And that was just the first test, and since then it's just exponentially got more and more. The synapses in your brain are unbelievable. It's like the supercomputer of supercomputers. But this thing is catching.
And very quickly.
Very quickly it's going to overtake it. And then what happens? I don't know. You pull out a plug.
Terminator.
Terminator.
Arnold's still around, it should be okay.
Yes. Okay, so now with obviously moving into Rooftop and doing these projects, I mean, what projects are you busy with at the moment? What's the stuff that's interesting?
Funny enough, you talked about tobacco earlier. We're busy working on World No Tobacco Day.
Oh, No Tobacco Day.
Yeah. So we.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we work very closely with. We have for the last 4 or 5 years with the World Health Organization, and every year in March, towards the end of March, they have an official International World No Tobacco Day, and I think tobacco's a funny business, right?
It's so wonderful, the advertising side. They are so good.
Yeah, because now think of vapes. So there's been a real clampdown on normal cigarette advertising, and now vaping has become the new thing. But think of the tactics linked to vaping and how they're targeting a younger audience. Colours, flavours, the shapes of the actual vapes themselves. It's
all the different flavours. It's
very tactical marketing. So
it becomes what they love to say. It's a lifestyle. It's not really it's not a product. It's a lifestyle. What's this bad?
It's a coffee.
Coffee. Oh, coffee.
No, what?
Oh, that's nice. That's got nothing to do with coffee. No, it's true. But the way they target the guys. I mean, look at we were talking about Formula One advertising. How is that? I mean.
It's unbelievable. I mean, you pay for a little decal on the side of the mirror on those cars. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Huge.
But also you think back on those cars that you just loved. And they're all like Marlboro, JPS. I mean, come on, the black and gold.
The black and gold.
Jeez, it's just like iconic. Peter Stuyvesant, Pierre guy there. It's like it's just how they were targeting.
I mean, do you remember going to the movies and like before they used to have these people skiing down a ski slope, right?
The coolest
Lifestyles of
oaks
the rich
ever.
and famous type of thing, lighting up a cigarette at the end. It's all aspirational value. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The different kinds of work that you do now compared to what you used to do at Boomtown.
Yeah, so Rooftop, very cause-based work. We don't do any commercial advertising for any brands.
So it's all cause-based.
All cause-based. So think about
NGOs.
climate crisis awareness, environmental impact components, humanitarian crisis awareness. We would do a lot of work with UNICEF.
Yes.
Obviously, fundraising components for areas that needed crisis management. We've got two major catastrophes happening in the world at the moment, in the Ukraine and in Gaza.
Yes.
So trying to assist with humanitarian components linked to those. Obviously, they drive a lot of action around those.
And you got to try and steer away from politics with these things.
Yeah.
It's like where do you go? It's for the humanitarian side, save lives, save people. Doesn't matter who it is.
Yes, their mandate is humans. It's humanity.
Humans.
Protecting humans, no matter which side of the spectrum they're on. So it's quite an interesting. They do have to take a very neutral stance, but I think one of the most difficult jobs in the world, because you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
And they're constantly under fire as a result of some of the actions they're taking. So it's quite a difficent environment, I think, to be in.
And I mean, how close do you get to that whole thing? Do you have to go?
We've got teams that go. I haven't got into field yet and shoots, but we've got videography teams that actually go into the field in a lot of these really challenging areas.
Wow.
Sudan, Chad, some of those places, right? And you're going to see people, I think, in really tough situations. Difficult to do that, but at the same time, by being on the ground, really engaged with those stories, we can get the best content that creates very emotive products for our clients, and
then get obviously people to support those.
It's real. It's not staged. It's real.
So do you direct these guys? Do you do those projects? I mean, is James out there as well?
So James, myself, and Richard. Yeah, we're more obviously client facing and stuff, but we do have teams of creatives that lead those projects. And a very good bunch of people
like
that do
Joff and those guys.
Joff on the animation side. So
what a legend!
Joff leads the animation team at Rooftop. Super animation team. I think about 10 or 11 guys.
Joff is the guy who paints all these things murals around town as well. The one down in Valley Road.
He's one of the most talented creative guys I know. He's
the
a
big
musician.
goldfish.
Joff and the Cults.
Yes, Joff and the Cults, the musician.
Does art is unbelievable. Not only paintings, beautiful paintings, but murals, graffiti, and he's a fantastic animator.
Yeah, and he did video. I mean, I did an ad with him. He was the producer.
He was
the guy who does music videos, and he did an ad for us as well. Doing all sorts of slow motion stuff.
Editing, video editing. Super.
Incredible.
So Joff does that, and then we've got videography teams as well. We've got 3 different teams within Rooftop that focus on video specifically.
Wow. Okay. So and also some talented guys. Obviously, it relies on the fact that it's got a lot of talented people.
Yeah. So we've got a Cape Town office now as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've got about 10 people down in Cape Town.
Okay.
Yeah, which is great. So we've got 10 people in Cape Town. I think about 55 odd in PE.
Okay. Great.
Cape Town office obviously allows for additional expansion and talent pool sourcing as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of film industry people in Cape Town.
Yes, of course.
As I think the business grows, you'll find the Cape Town office will grow as well. And it's not to say PE office is going anywhere. I love PE. A lot of the people that
and it's at the church there. It's got all the panels.
Yeah,
lucky buggers.
Old church.
Can you believe
renovated old church?
Villiers Road. In the double carriageway near to the Urban Express there.
That's it. Yeah, it's
the road.
104 Villiers. We worked with a local architect. Did a fantastic job. Strict architects.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Strict. Yes. Down in the valley.
In the valley. Yeah. Yes. So, he's been really good with the valley rejuvenation projects and things like that. But
I'm sure Dante's working with him there as well.
He is. He is.
Dante Ciccolini. Okay. Yes, I've heard a lot about Strict, and it's probably somebody I should have on the show.
Yeah.
What's his first name? Neil. Is it Neil?
Yeah. He actually did. He designed De Kunsthuis, which has just been nominated, I think, for South African Architects Award.
In Rebecca Castile, is that the one we're talking about? Rebecca Castile was the... De Kunsthuis. Okay.
Is that
a nice place to go for a little bit of a break?
Rebecca Castile. It seems like it. I've been through there. It's very small.
Yes.
I don't know if I could stay there too long.
Okay. Not like a touristy place.
No, I think you want to go there and slow down.
Right. Okay. Because I know Anton. Was it Anton that went out? Anton Carnitz went out there and did a little bit of a gig out there.
They do an art fair and a few other things there. I think annually. So I think it gets nice and busy.
Anton Momberg.
Anthony Harris is there. Anton Momberg.
Okay, Peter Swart. Yes, they're all there. All the PE artsy fartsies
GQ guys are all moving.
Yeah, all the artsy fartsies are moving out there.
Yeah.
And of course, Anton Momberg is another one. Is amazing. I mean, his artworks on the Donkin. I love the chair, the big chair with the tall lady. Yeah, the lady standing behind.
Superb.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
He actually was a lecturer at Tech when I was there. Sculpture lecturer.
Okay. Yeah, I think my mom was also lecturing there at the time.
She might have been, hey?
Yeah, she did printmaking. That's right. Yeah. She was also there. She was also artsy fartsy.
Yeah.
She would have ended up in Rebecca still. where does most of the funding come from for these projects for Rooftop?
So a lot of the big UN organisations, they get a lot of government funding, but also private entities fund, and individuals. So they do big funding drives, donor funding drives. Yeah. So I know that a lot of the UN member countries obviously donate funding in.
Okay.
But sometimes with specific projects, countries will donate funding. The EU donates a lot of specific funding into projects into Africa.
Okay.
Which is quite interesting. So they'll actually go, we're driving a project specifically around this particular cause for UNICEF in this country to raise awareness around the food crisis.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll donate a lot of funding for it. Japanese governments donate a lot of funds. So we often get tasked to do projects that are sponsored by specific entities.
Sure. Okay.
Countries or organisations, but it's always linked to a UNICEF or a UNESCO.
Okay. Basically and you've got to report back to UNICEF. You don't deal with that.
No, we won't.
You'll deal with UNICEF.
The UN organisations.
They'll do that stuff. They'll report.
What did you do with our money? We did this.
We did this.
So we've got to make sure it's amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously they're probably quite strict, I would imagine.
The better the results, hopefully they will give them more money. So
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the better your projects are in the end, you're going to get more.
It's a proof point for the success of what can be done. So in other words, if we're effective with what we do on the ground, those countries will then make sure that they're helping more.
It's fantastic for a PE company, you know. And I mean, do these things just fall out the sky, or is there like, okay, how many years have you got? You know what I mean? Have you got a year? Have you got 6 months? Is it like, could it just evaporate at any time?
Well, it's been a lot of hard work, I think, for Rooftop. So in chatting to James and Richard, I think our first UN projects were about 10 or 11 years ago. Rooftop's been going for 20 years.
Wow.
So to give you an idea, they only started like halfway through its kind of lifespan. We've started getting into this type of work. And the first few projects were video projects, and it's just literally started. It's been an amazing journey from there, because another entity would see that particular video project, and we've just had a lot of word of mouth feedback from a lot of the UN organizations. And now I would say 99% of our work is international.
So I mean, you've got those relationships with those people at the UN and the thing, and they know you. They know your work is good. They know your ethic is good, and that's fantastic. I tell you what, though, what a bonus for PE, you know.
Yeah,
to have this.
I think from a work perspective, though, it's interesting, because I often say to people, like, in a commercial advertising environment, you're going to do something for a particular product.
Yeah.
You might not necessarily love that product a lot, right?
Yeah.
I find with what we're doing and all the people that work at Rooftop, we're so engaged with trying to make a difference through the products that we're producing. That we give it, I think, a little bit more
than you would. You're right. And the people that you work with have also got a different, come from a different perspective. It's not about profit. It's not shareholding. It's
completely. Like, it's about, can this product do what the client needs it to do in that environment?
And can it help people? And will it do good?
That's exactly it. Yeah. So in some respects, it's very fulfilling. Having stepped out in an environment that's so commercially driven into an environment like this, being able to use those skills to go, okay, wait a minute, this is making a big impact on the world.
Incredible. That's fantastic. It's what excites you most about the future of advertising and your role in it?
I suppose particularly now with where I am now, I think advances in technology are going to be a roller coaster ride for advertising, AI and things like that. I think it's very exciting. It is. I know that they are looking at mandates and how we actually work within the AI environment. So I think there has to be some governance. I mean, if we step back, I don't know, 15, 20 years, when the digital platforms started really becoming prevalent, social media started there was no governance protocols. Let's call it.
No rules.
There were no guardrails, right? To support how we action and our behavior in there. And I think with AI, they're now going, wait, let's put these things in place early. so that we don't have a catastrophe down the line.
Okay.
So I think there are going to be some
There are
governance
some-
components, definitely, and we'll get that support. But I think that technology advancement is going to be tremendously exciting for what we can do with what we're currently applying from a technology perspective. I mean, just some of these amazing sort of three-dimensional billboard applications that you're seeing applied now, which look real. They're three-dimensional. I mean, holographic.
Coming out of the
exactly. You can just think about the potential of what you can produce and what you can do. I mean, we're doing augmented reality experiences for our clients, where you can't go into Africa to experience something, but we can place you there through an augmented reality experience through video. So now you're sitting in a room, you've got these goggles on, it feels like you're
The lion is actually eating your legs.
Yeah, exactly. You're there, you're being able to experience the aid workers doing their stuff on the ground.
Right.
So that sort of technology, I think, is really exciting. How we can use that to actually fulfill these mandates that our clients.
So
have
you,
got.
literally, you're talking about like being on the ground with these guys, and the communication is so incredible these days as well.
Yeah.
And just like that whole. What do you call it? VR kind of experience thing. That's a whole nother level. I don't know.
And I think Apple's going to take it to the next level with what they've got. I think with all technology, you get what we call early adopters. They're going to be people that kind of embrace that, and they jump into it.
Yeah.
And I think in a business like ours, we want to understand it, jump into it.
You have
Because
to.
you never know; it could be the next big thing. It might flop horribly, but it could also just take off and be
complete
amazing.
waste of money. Yeah. You look back and you think, how is that ever going to work?
Exactly.
That was huge, man.
Remember beepers, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, beepers was fantastic. Hi there, sorry, can I use your phone?
Yeah.
Bugger off, man. You're the third guy to come in today.
My beepers beeping. Yeah.
I'll give you the 20 cents for the call, it's fine.
What's the most unusual request you've ever
What's the most unusual request you've ever received from a client?
Oh, wow, that's an interesting question.
Can
I'll have
you
to give
think
that
of
a
one?
thought. I can give you a funny scenario
Yes.
on a project while I'm thinking about that.
I like that.
We pitched on a big account, big corporate identity development for a local municipality.
Okay.
And they were changing name, and we had to develop a whole new identity, and we were one of a few agencies that had to go and pitch. Anyway, we were shortlisted, I think, to about 3 agencies, and we had to go into the council chambers
Okay.
and present to the entire council.
Yes, to Ethel Trollope, or who it was at the time.
Those you put a smart shirt,
Remember
and a jacket.
Faku or something, yeah.
We walk in and presenting, and anyway, man, I presented, and you give it everything when you're presenting. It's a little bit like when you're doing a show, I suppose. It's a little bit of theatre, and you're trying to engage people. And I'll never forget looking into the back, and there were 2 or 3 people sleeping. Right? And I walked out going, I've blown this. I've absolutely blown it. There's no ways we're going to get this
Sleeping
job.
people.
There were people. I said to the. I mean, I had some colleagues, work colleagues. I said, I put these people to sleep. I mean, how bad was I? Right? I thought I had really done a bad job. Anyway, we got the job.
Got it.
Couldn't believe it.
Maybe
I was
more people sleep.
The funniest thing, I was like, wow! I put people to sleep. We still got the job.
that's
It was
counsellors
amazing.
for you.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of the funniest thing.
No. I mean, it's crazy. If you're a counsellor, I mean, you must get used to this sort of thing.
We've had a few. I've had a few like walk-in clients that have had like some really crazy, like maybe like they've got a new app that they want to do or something like that. You're kind of looking at it, going, "Have you got funding to actually do what you need to do with this?"
Yeah.
So there's been a couple of funny things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but nothing really off the wall where you're like, wait a minute.
and a crazy deadline. Like, what about deadlines? Because everybody wants it yesterday.
No, deadlines are mad. I mean, we know. I think as you work through the industry, you know how long things take.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had some crazy ones, like one-day turnarounds on videos and things like that. And,
He is editing through the night.
Yeah, you look at a project and you go, that's going to take about 3 weeks, one day.
Yeah. Oh my God! Okay, come on. Phoning everybody trying to.
I mean, we're used to working quickly and working
because the budget's there.
Yeah,
it's just there. It's really the budget's there for you
don't
to
even
take.
have time.
Yeah,
to do
you just got to take it home. That's all.
Yeah,
you got to get this guy, that guy. Come on, do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about this industry. Deadlines are crazy. I mean, everything's time-based, and it's always tight. And there's another project lined up.
Yeah. What about campaigns that have gone wrong? I mean, you have to name names. Yes,
they can go wrong. I mean,
everybody's got to make mistakes. You have to make mistakes in order to.
School of hard knocks, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they do happen, and I mean, so back in the day when you were doing a lot of print media, if you weren't proofreading something, you could have a print ad that would appear in the newspaper with a spelling error very easily, right? And when it's in, it's in.
Yeah.
There's no going back. Everyone's looking at it.
It's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now you post an ad on digital media, you just take it down, you put a new one up.
Yes.
You haven't printed 100 million of them.
Yeah.
So I think things have got a little bit easier from that perspective.
Yeah.
But I think we try and do a little bit more homework now, so we get it right most of the time, especially on campaigns.
At Rooftop, it's going to be different. Those projects are so big that, and you're part of a process, I would imagine, as well.
They've got quite a ruthless internal client vetting process on their side. When you've got the eyes of the world on your product, you want to make sure that it's vetted and checked. So we do a lot of that on our side, and then it goes through a secondary checking process and client side before we go live
as well.
Yeah, so it's
check for anything.
It's normally watertight.
Can be scary. But was there ever a time when you had to think out of the box to solve a problem? Like, I mean, say you come with a problem that you're thinking like. This is just going to ever work. How are we going to find something?
Often we've had to do that. I mean, I think of projects. So creativity by its very nature is out there, right?
Yeah.
And I think creativity should make you feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because that's when it gets noticed. So it's almost like, I think the stuff out there that people see is the stuff that they look at and they go, I don't quite know how I feel about that. It's making me feeling like a little bit, you're either going to feel some sort of emotion around it.
So it's an emotive thing. You've got to have that emotion.
And I feel sometimes some of the ideas you come up with, you're going, how are we going to actually produce that?
Yeah.
So when I was agency side, I'll never forget, I was working with a team that came up with an unbelievable idea to bring doctors into Africa. So Africa's got a massive doctors shortage. So what they were doing is developed countries, they were trying to get doctors from developed countries to come and do a year of work shadow or work study in South Africa so that they could actually serve communities in Africa. And they came up with this amazing idea to develop the world's first stethoscope radio ad. That's only audible through a stethoscope. So when you press down on this pressure sensitive device, the ad starts playing, but you can only hear it through the stethoscope. The great thing about it was we had the undivided attention. So what's the doctor going to do? He's going to pop those things in, he's going to listen to the ad. Right? But now we had to try and get that to work. Now we had to make that thing. We sold the idea.
How do you get it out there?
Now we actually had to make it. So we had to go into
to actually make the thing that does that.
The actual device.
Soft little...
It's
so we had to tiny little speaker.
Exactly. A whole R&D development phase to try and get these things to work.
I can tell you use a crystal radio set.
It was amazing. And the guys, we did it. It was amazing. We sent these boxes out and
it worked well, hey?
They got doctors. They got some doctors to come and work in Africa, which is what the whole point was. So,
even if you get one or two, it's still going to pay for the whole project.
But it was interesting because, we did a little bit of research with the client and they said to them, well, yes, do you have what can we work with here? I said, we've got a database. We've got a database of doctors, graduate doctors. Oh, excellent. So we said, wow, so we can actually send each doctor one of these devices. So that was the plan.
Wow, okay. They sent them out. Yes, captive audience. That's the best.
Yeah.
And was the time you had to persuade a client to take a risk on a bold idea?
Often. We kind of got this
hey, try this!
So what we're trying to do is, if you really back an idea, they say you should always just go in with that one idea, right? And just sell the hell out of it and try and get it to land. But kind of some of the philosophy we've got to kind of go in with something that's really brave that you believe in, something that's kind of middle of the road, and then you know that there's always going to be a conservative idea there somewhere. Preferably
you don't really want to do this,
but try and go and sell the brave idea first, and it does take a brave client to back a brave idea. I think some of the biggest advertisers, the stuff, think of like Nando's and Chicken Licken ads, right? Those
they're really on the edge.
Edgy out there ads. Brave clients. They're prepared to back brave creativity to stand out. So I think it does take...
They must have a vetting process though. But people do fake ads all the time for Nando's.
Yeah, they do. They just come up with that
stuff. They don't have to worry about those.
Yeah, incredible. I think clients like that, brave clients, are the guys that do these amazing brave ads. Those are the ads that normally generate a lot of response and also win a lot of awards.
Yes.
So, But we did local ads. We created the gig for, guys dressed in post-it notes. And
I saw that.
Right? So
yes,
you get clients that are prepared to do it. So you just got to. I think it's there's but you do have to convince them. It takes a lot. You're selling. You're selling
because they're putting money in there.
Yeah,
it's almost like an investment broker coming to you and say, listen, you can stick your money in the Ukraine because it's let alone now, but it's going to go. You know, and you're thinking, what?
So that ad series, Mad Men.
Yeah.
If you watch some of those series, how they went in and sold ads, that's how it happens.
Really?
You go in and you sell, man. There's a lot of theatre in it. And you're selling ads.
So I'd be quite good at selling ads.
Yeah, you'd be brilliant.
And what about unexpected partners and industries, things that you wouldn't have expected to work with?
Yes. Yeah, I can tell you about one we actually did recently. We worked with UNOCHA, which is the humanitarian organization at the UN. Yeah. And we partnered with Strava for the UN, for a humanitarian organization.
Wow.
So we developed a concept called the human race.
Yes.
And we partnered with Strava, and we had a global race that spanned every continent in the world, just about every country in the world.
I saw it, but I saw that on Strava as well.
Yeah, so you could join the human race. We had,
I
think, close on 6 million participants across the world. Yeah. So Strava
is huge.
UNOCHA, you would never think of the connection between the two. And I must say, they were fantastic, Strava. We had a lot of calls, quite challenging because they're based on the other side of America. So we had a lot of late calls here with them. But they were so invested in it, and they did a lot of marketing on UNOCHA's behalf on their platform.
Well, you must have loved that because you can get into the running stuff.
Yeah, it was super.
Think of that, but if you think of the data that they must have as well, those guys. I mean, they are your Strava, your Garmin watch or whatever, they know where everyone lives, man.
Yeah, we were really trying to get UNOCHA to make it an annual event. I think it would have been fantastic because, I mean, we had such a good response in the first year. I think it would have been this like annual event that would have just grown and grown.
Of course, and people enjoy it, and it does well. And
of course, humanitarian, human race, there was a nice connection between the two together as well.
And for your heart, I mean, what about campaigns that you've really have warmed your heart? Impactful campaigns.
Impactful campaigns. Man.
Sort of,
I mean,
for your soul, I suppose.
We've had a few teams that have done some great projects. I know that when the war in Ukraine broke out, Joff, funny enough, and his animation team worked with the guy Scott Kelly. They worked on an amazing project where they took inspiration from drawings that kids had done in the Ukraine, in the war-torn areas. And quite hard-hitting drawings. I mean, you must imagine these kids are going through trauma, the things that they're now seeing compared to everyday life. And they translated that into the animation. So the whole style of the animation was based on these kids' drawings. So quite hard-hitting and emotive. But at the same time, I think when you watched it, and then they actually transitioned from a drawing of a kid into the real kid that had done the drawing right at the end. So it was quite clever with the way they structured it. But that was, I think, very impactful. We did a great project when I was agency side for the northern areas, for the gun violence in the northern areas.
Okay.
There's some streets in the northern areas that have lost a family member. Every house in the streets lost a family member to gun violence, right?
Gangs, It's a problem,
Yeah, we had a creative Vessel Stoltz, a really good guy. He's up in an agency in Joburg at the moment. He works up there. But Vessel had this idea around a statue called The Last Child Standing. And we actually got in contact with a whole lot of people that had lost children.
I saw that campaign.
And we worked with Duncan Stewart.
Yes, I was going to say Duncan, wasn't it? Duncan involved there
Duncan
as well,
was involved, and Duncan developed this beautiful sculpture, resin-based sculpture, with pieces of clothing from these kids that had passed away. In the actual sculpture, and it actually stands at the gateway into the northern areas now. So when you drive past it, there's a bit of a reminder about how important human life is, right? Especially children's lives. That was I thought a very impactful piece as well. Some amazing projects.
Well, Andrew, yes, Gary's putting up another one here. What's the most memorable feedback you've ever received from a client or an audience member of one of your campaigns? Can you remember? Can you think of anything?
Memorable feedback. Yeah. I mean, we've had clients that have, especially now while I've been on Rooftop, we've actually had clients that have been in tears with some of the projects that we've done. Because I think they realize the impact that it's helping them achieve on the ground. So I think from that perspective, we've had a lot of those. But they
gives them that jump, that foot up.
Yeah, you know that you're doing this amazing help in it. Yeah, and I mean, I think Rooftop's really open to doing that. Do you remember Kevin Hassler?
Yes, I do. Right. Yes. Right. He was with the Business Chamber as well.
Chamber, yeah. So Kevin contacted me a couple of years ago. There was a young rugby player. His name was Buckies.
Yeah, Buckies,
Yeah. So he actually played for one of the Humansdorp clubs, and he was involved in an accident on a field in a game, and he was paralysed. and he actually ended up in Aurora for a while, and he came from an area in Humansdorp, Jeffreys Bay, where they didn't actually have facilities. His house, his home, where his parents were, didn't have facilities for him to actually be looked after properly.
Okay.
So Kevin came to me, and with the support of actually the Rugby Players Foundation, who got behind this, and some of the Springbok rugby players, we did a video to raise funds so they could build an extension onto his home. And, what an amazing project. I mean, Kanan Moody and Scudder Unterbeni actually came down here and helped him move. Toyota got on board. They gave a car to move him.
Oh, lovely.
And they raised money to help build an extension onto this kid's house.
Community, we have to help each other.
Crazy,
we have to help each other.
But I think we've got the ability through our areas of skill to do that.
Yes, for sure. And you're dealing with international clients. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So companies like Rooftop really, it's fantastic because you're not only using. You're not getting funding from here. It's coming from out. It's coming in.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not like
right.
Facebook where you're giving them funding and it's going out.
Yeah, correct. It's coming into the country, and then we're supporting, obviously, local jobs, job creation, which is.
You got to think on your feet with this stuff as well. Have you ever had a chance where you have to like?
Oh man, we've had projects where we've gone. Man, this idea is brilliant. It's going to tick all the boxes. Clients bombed it.
Oh, no.
Straight back to the drawing board. And,
go.
Yeah, then you've got 24 hours to, try and solve this whole thing and come back and damage control and present.
I call it jazz hands and shifty eyes.
You make a plan, but you know what? We always found a way to sometimes that next push. The idea actually comes out sometimes even better. So
it's true. It's true, and also like not only with mistakes, but if you look at something, you whatever effort you've put into there, you now know it's become part of your experience. So then you build on it, and it makes it better.
I mean, even when we're working on concerts, you kind of get to that final piece, and you're going, we think we've got this, and then the last step is how can we make it better?
Yeah.
And that's that last little push to just take it that degree further than where it was.
The Apple guy, what's his name? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs always had that thing: keep on improving, keep on improving. But Andrew, we've had you here for an hour and a half, and it's been fantastic.
No, awesome. Yeah, it's been great. Thank you. Thanks.
I don't know if there's any anecdotes or any stories you've got about the business where you've had a good laugh or a good.
Yeah, I mean, creative as a I think as a career choice is an interesting one. It's always going to be, right? I kind of had this, maybe the thinking for me and maybe life lesson is that I haven't had a day where I haven't been excited to wake up and go and do what I'm doing, right? No matter whether it was commercial advertising or what I'm doing now. Yeah. So quite interesting from that perspective, and maybe. I think people need to live like that, right? I think if you get stuck into something that you're waking up every morning, you're kind of going, why am I doing this?
Why am I here?
And why am I doing it? I don't know. Maybe that's just...
it's sometimes so difficult. You get locked in, especially with the money. Yeah. Because the money's paying you. If it's coming in, the salary's coming in every month.
You've got no option, right?
Yeah. You're in a fortunate position where you felt that the need to go to a cause-based thing to help NGOs to do something for your soul as well. Yeah. And you could
my skill set.
Your skill set. But that's the artist. We can do that stuff.
Yeah.
Any campaign that you were initially unsure about and ended up being a huge success? Like you're thinking, oh shit, is this going to work? And then it was like, wow, this is
the human race is one of them.
Oh, really?
Well, you're looking at it and you're kind of going, great, so we're going to put this thing out in Strava.
Yeah.
What happens if only 10 people go, we'll do it? And we're promoting this thing internationally, and we get a handful of people that take it up, because the highly measurable nature of what you're doing there puts you in the spotlight.
Yes,
right?
of course.
You get 10 people, the client's going to look at you. We spent how much? And we only got 10 people.
Every 10 people. No, seriously.
So, there have been a few where I've been like, whoa. But then you start seeing those numbers coming over, like, wow, that's amazing. So there have been a few where I've been on the edge and going.
That's phenomenal to do something with Strava. I mean, they grew so quickly.
Yeah.
I used to like watching the races when everybody's with you and you can go around track everybody.
Did you see that away record that they did now in France, where they drew the Olympic rings? These guys plotted out the Olympic rings in France.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And over, I can't remember, 10 days, I think it was something like 10 days.
Oh, they ran?
They cycled 2,600 kilometers, over 200 Ks a day. and they made the Olympic rings.
They all had to join that particular thing, share where they were.
Yeah, but what made it worse is they started and finished at the Eiffel Tower.
Oh no!
So you know the planning you've got to do to actually get that to work. Wow!
You got to get to the middle of the ring and go. That is it. They're cutting out all the guys. He's going wrong. He's going wrong.
Yeah, it's a square, not a circle.
There's tracks everywhere where you run. There's fantastic apps. These things.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at some of the comments before we say our last goodbyes here. Leslie Heaney saying, "How's it?"
That's Leslie Tues.
Oh, there we Leslie. She was a VP.
Yeah. What year were you at school?
What year were you, Les? Because I was trying to remember. We were talking about it earlier. I see. That's
my aunt.
And your aunt. Is it your auntie?
That's my auntie.
There we go. Great. Thank you, Emma. Thanks. Nice to have you on board as well. Oh, Gary's got a question before we go. What are the challenging aspects of shooting a commercial or a photo shoot in a foreign country?
Yeah, very, very complex. It's a very good question, Gary. Yeah. So we're very fortunate in that we've got a lot of contacts internationally on the ground in a lot of these countries. We usually, obviously, with the UN, we will sometimes work with what we call the fixer.
Okay.
So the fixer obviously understands local components. They know where to go. They know safety and security issues, because a lot of the areas we go into sometimes are conflict areas.
You never know.
And you've got to be quite careful. We've got a very strong producer team in-house as well.
Okay.
So that work with our team, so that we taking a lot of those shoots we do ourselves. So it's
wow. So you have the logistics and everything.
Yeah, we do the logistics, flights, everything on the ground.
Security.
Then obviously when we land, we might have UN partnership on the ground through the organisations that we work with. But it's normally a representative that takes us to the right place. We framing the story.
It's normally a military base. We do a lot of research into the right people to talk to. So if we're interviewing families on the ground, we do vetting on those families beforehand to make sure that they're going to deliver the best story and create the best impact for the client. So we do a lot of that as well. The UN will work with us on that. So they'll identify a group and then we'll work with them. We normally do online interviews beforehand. Okay. So you can
we'll
you get a feel.
Them. Yeah, we'll do a series of questions. A lot of the projects as well, we actually do 3 rounds of interviews sometimes. So it's not just once and it's
So you've
done.
got to just touch all those things that can cause problems as well, and make sure you know.
Yeah, and you do have to be careful. I mean, I know that I was talking...
There's always agendas, eh?
Yeah. I was talking to one of the teams, some of our editors, Carl, and a couple of guys, and he was telling me a story about they were on a shoot once in I think it might have been Sudan, but in a compound, UN compound, and Jeremy, one of the guys, trotted off to go and have a shower, and the next thing a mortar shell went off just outside the compound, right, and Jeremy came running back with his towel around and going, what's going on? And I remember Carl telling me that's some of the situations that the teams found themselves in. So it's not all glamorous.
I'm
tough
sure.
in the field,
And I mean, they're doing something, they're doing something that you feel is good, and you're saving lives, but
able to tell a better story as a result of being there and living that experience that these people are actually going through.
Your feelings about the limitations that wokeness is putting on this. Okay, there we're back. Done. There we go. Back on. Yes, we had a quick internet interview. So you was.
Yes, I was saying. I think. Yeah, you got to be. Yeah, I think wokeness can be quite challenging. But I think we're often working with a specific theme or a topic. Like now, it's like World No Tobacco Day as an example. It's very specific. There's a theme to it, and we'll build a campaign around that. I mean, a lot of the content we're working with is fact based. You can't fight fact. Right.
Well, the white guys will argue with that.
They will. Yeah. Where are you getting your facts? Will be the argument. But
because you've got to try and steer away from controversy. Obviously, always.
Yeah, you do, especially with the organisations we work with.
I think we should do 1 or 2 getting to know you questions. These are getting to know you questions as well. But I've got a couple of crazy questions that we could ask as well.
Okay, let's do it.
For a finisher. Okay, let's do it. We're going to put on the. Our lovely music. I have, they're right over here, but I need my lovely music before we do the.
Getting to know all
Okay, let's see. The luckiest thing that's ever happened to you.
Luckiest thing is
Yes.
was probably my wife saying yes.
Oh, get who's getting some tonight.
Look at me. What choice is that?
What kind of a mucker are you?
Yeah.
All right. Something that people will be surprised to learn about you.
I dabbled in a bit of art.
A bit of art, like painting.
Like drawing and
Okay.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't have expected that. It's true with being a sporty guy. They don't expect.
So I love art.
Okay. Anything that your wife is watching may tell us as well is something about you that other people don't know.
Ooh,
Yes.
that could be dangerous.
Okay. The biggest learning experience that you ever had?
Biggest learning experience I've ever had. I think when you're leading a team of people and the business goes through difficult times, right? And you've got to make some really hard calls. Tough calls. I think most probably for me that maybe hard lessons are the ones you learn the most from.
Yes, yeah.
And I think
tough.
being in business for a long time, I've learned a few of those. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and dealing with people and having conflict in the business.
Yeah.
Are you good with that? You're a bit hot-headed. Are you not?
I don't really like conflict, but I'm very people-centered.
Okay.
So I love connecting in with people maybe trying to help people grow.
Yeah, for sure. No, it can be hectic. Because I know, the Scottish temperament is like it's got
give you a firecracker.
Yeah. All right. Your biggest irrational fear.
Biggest irrational fear.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I just put my running shoes on and run to Cape Town.
Is it?
I don't know. No, I'm not.
You're not scared of anything specifically?
No, not really. I mean, I used to have a massive spider phobia, like arachnophobia. I hated spiders, and that quickly solved when we went camping once with a group of friends, and we stayed in this cabin. And on every knot on the knotty pine wall, there was a spider, and I was the only guy there that could take them out. So,
so you had to
that
take
night,
them all?
I lost my phobia of spiders.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Just attacking your fear.
That was it. God.
Is that the way to do it? So, Oaks, if you got to attack that fear.
Yeah.
But we all know that.
Yeah.
But
I don't like abseiling too much, but
abseiling?
I've had to overcome
Heights.
that as well. Yeah.
So heights, you're not so good at.
No, heights I'm fine with. Abseiling, different story. Yeah.
Have you abseiled down with it was Stuart Duncan's brother?
Yeah.
Andrew, he took me down abseiling down off the highway.
Yeah, really.
It was quite hectic.
Well, I told you I was doing a few adventure races, and the first one I did with a group of guys. They were all NSRI guys, volunteers, right? Super bunch of guys. I mean, they've been volunteering at NSRI for a long time, but I mean, they can abseil from no one's business. I get there, I've never abseiled before, and I kept on saying to Kev, one guy, I said, "Hey Kev, we need to show me how to do it." Yeah, we'll do it.
It's fine.
Anyway,
man.
we never did. So we went to abseiled. I ended up upside down, man. I was hanging on to that rock on a 30-meter waterfall at the bottom. Feet were up there, your head was down there. I could even see the panic in the guy that was helping us in his eyes. Then I really started to get nervous. Yeah. Anyway, I've done a few more since then. I'm much better.
You're much better.
I still get a bit nervous. Yeah.
Okay, the most famous person you ever met or worked for? Or are you related to anybody famous?
I've met. We've worked with quite a few celebs with Rooftop because they volunteer their skills for videos.
For UNESCO and
guys
stuff.
Like David Beckham, Liam Neeson.
David Beckham.
Beast, Taurira.
Oh, yes. What a legend.
Yeah, so we've done quite a few of that.
I've met him too, Beast.
Yeah, because the UN's got a lot of ambassadors.
Okay.
That give their time, and they've been in videos. They've given their voiceovers to videos. So we've worked with a lot of guys like that.
Met Beckers,
Yeah.
Let's see. Your hero. Who's your
My hero?
mentors, heroes?
Oh, wow. It's always such a difficult question. I mean, from a creative perspective, a lot of people creatively that have inspired me, designers over the years, guys like Herb Lubelin and people like that. Makes sense to me. It won't make sense to a lot of people.
Yes, but they helped you as well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of South African advertising people that have started amazing agencies, people like Mike Abel, who owns M&C Saatchi Abel. He's a local guy. He went to Grey. He's now got a fantastic agency in Joburg. I look up to people like that. I think they're doing amazing things in the advertising arena.
Not scared to get out there and just
do it.
take the risk.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so we've got a few. Another guy is Luca Galleretti. head of TBWA in Africa.
Cool.
So he heads up the whole African division. Also local.
No, they do spa stuff.
Yeah, so I think people like that are very inspiring for me because it's in the same industry and they've kind of gone, wait, you can do anything, you know?
Yeah.
So
they just stop. Go.
Yeah.
Yo. All right. I hear Gary's typing furiously again. There's
another question coming.
Another one coming. How's your life been different to what you imagined when you started?
In advertising?
Just in life. Just life.
Oh, wow.
Generally.
Well, when you grow up in Grahamstown, you don't necessarily think you're going to be working on this in these international clients.
Yeah.
So I think from there, and having absolutely no idea of what I would be doing.
Did you not? Did you at
well,
school?
I was in matric, I didn't even know.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's good for matrics that are watching because not a lot of them do know.
I was so unsure.
Okay.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have their life organised from standard 6. They know what they're going to do when they finish school. And it's all lined up.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I'm glad because I didn't really.
And I mean, it could have gone horribly wrong, right? I could have started graphic design and absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I didn't.
Thank God. They did okay with that test.
The aptitude test was okay.
The test was all right.
Yeah.
Oh, my soul. Well, Andrew, I think we're at the end of our thing. I can maybe think we've got one more. Your favourite singer and band. What kind of music do you like?
Oh, man. I've got quite a varied taste of music, but if I had to single one out, it's probably U2.
U2?
Yeah.
No, it's Irish.
Yeah, Irish. Funny enough. But I do like the Scottish bands. Big Country.
Simple Minds.
Simple Minds.
Yeah,
the Waterboys.
The Waterboys. There's another one.
Band, so yeah.
It's Big Country, Simple Minds, and of course the Proclaimers.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, there's a few.
AC/DC.
Echo and the Bunnymen.
Echo and the Bunnymen as well. The Scottish guys have had some. There we go. Is ever been a time where you laughed so hard that you'll never forget?
There have actually been a few.
Good couple of laughs.
Yeah, most of them linked to family. Yeah, so we've had a couple of really good laughs. I mean, my old man's quite funny, and I mean, I don't know. So I'll tell the story maybe about my old man. Who makes me laugh a bit, and I'll tell you one about Aiden and as well. So my dad went down to the harbour once, and they've got that new boom, right? When you drive into the harbour, and you can't just go in. You know? So my dad got to this thing, and he drove in, and I think he went to Commercial Marine or to the fish shop or something. And he was coming out, the guy wanted to check his car again, and he kind of said, "You're not going to check my car again," and just carried on driving. So he drove through, and there's a bit of a guy was shouting at him, and a bit happened, and Aiden might be able to elaborate on the story, but anyway, so Aiden picked up on this, right? And about I think about a week later, he phoned him, but he pretended that he was one of these Portnet officials, and that they'd caught my dad on camera, and they were actually going to fine him. So it was a little bit like a Wackhead Simpson thing, but man, it was the funniest thing because my dad's reaction was pure class. He went straight into defense mode, and he thought that Aiden was one of these guys from Portnet, and Aiden led him on for a while. I can't do that. I'll just start laughing. Aiden was brilliant. He really Yeah. He was.
So she's Portnet. Look, I thought it wasn't me.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah. And then we went to Mike Nyker.
Oh yeah.
So we went to a Mike Nyker show. Yeah. And my brother-in-law came with us, Leslie's husband, Brent, and I was laughing more at Brent than what I was at Mike Nyker, because Brent gets a bit of asthma. He was laughing so much he was having an asthma attack. But he couldn't, he was laughing still, and I was laughing at him. I wasn't even laughing at the show. It was unbelievable. That was also magic.
That's good. And family's always good.
Yeah.
Laugh. You got it. It's important. And I know the Mackenzies are like that.
Yeah.
Close knit, which is always you got it. It is. In your life, you've got to have your family and your friends.
We have a good laugh together.
It's good. And of course, Achilles, the running club, part of our lives.
Yeah,
that's where I've gotten to know you guys the best.
Yeah,
you run on Tuesdays and you run on
Thursdays. Road, Thursdays road and trail running.
There's your put there. It says awesome. But proud of you. Funny, the other Mackenzie brother was running with the other Fabbri earlier as well. You're right with the Tuesday. We had to miss our Tuesday run. Oh man, excellent! And my boot of course runs with the guys as well. Natural Born Runner says love the work Rooftop does all over the place. I only came on very late, but enjoyed the show. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul, all the way from the UK. Because Paul's been on the show as well with Dean Allen.
It's Peter. It's my cousin.
Peter
Thanks,
McKenzie.
Peter.
How's it, man? Great work you guys are doing. Thank you, Chris Shaddock. Then great to see PE business make an impact on the global stage. Well done, Andy.
Hope all is well in Josie, Chris.
Lekker. Anton, who does your hair?
My hair.
Damn you, Carlitz. Damn you and your
I do it myself. You know why though? Because every time I was going to the hairdresser, they were charging me R5 more every time. So I said, why? What's going on here? It's a finder's fee.
Finder's fee. There you go. Gerardo Berger says, how's it
Gerardo.
awesome? Is he also work with you?
Yeah, I used to work with Gerardo, fantastic designer.
Okay.
Good to see you, Gerardo.
Philippa. Pippa, there's another Pippa there. Great to be. Thank you, Pippa. Selwyn Willis, how's it, Selwyn?
Hey, Selwyn is amazing.
He's always
man.
looking sharp, eh?
Yeah, so Selwyn does amazing work. He's with Community Chest. So
Of course,
support Selwyn and Community Chest.
Yes.
Yeah, I was on the board for a while with Selwyn. And yeah, he's doing super work.
What a brilliant guy as well.
Yeah.
Really nice. Gavin Biggs from City
Yeah,
Paint
Gavin.
Tool.
Another Graham College boy.
Is it? All the way, you know. Lower Albany, Quinn McKenzie. That's my dad. That's your boykie. Excellent. All right, we're going to do a competition before we finish off now as well.
Yeah.
We're going to give away to somebody that's online right now. We're going to give away a case of Fitch and Leeds for your mixers. We've got a bit of Fitch and Leeds. Yeah, he's got a castle. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you to our sponsors, Spar, Fitch and Leeds and Sovereign, as well as our internet guys, Amobia. And let's see who's going to win it. We're pulling the lever here. Watch your shoes. Bit of gambling going on here. Sean Willard! Excellent. Sean's done his,
Sean.
He's got to do a marketing campaign for his moi stuff. Hey, send me some moi. I will do some advertising for you here.
Good mixer for moi.
Yeah, I think it's like a barley milk. It's like a what's a milk alternative thing or something. I'll test it with my coffee. See how it is. Sarah Kay, good job, Dad. There we go. And Graham McKenzie is another one. Must be a proud Quinn. Alison and Sarah, there we go. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. Next week, we've got Harrison Nash. Dax Nash, we've got him on. It's going to be great fun. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Got a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to